Hello, Internet! Summer days are back again, and it's the perfect time to kick back and play some big, lengthy role-playing games. I can't think of a better way to spend vacation.
For me, a lot of summers have been spent with the classic Mother series. Not only are the games fun to play, the more contemporary settings make them especially cozy around this time of year.
But there's only 3 games in the series, and I've already talked about all of them, so what do I talk about now? Aha!
Although the series was relatively unknown for a while, the people who did play the games really enjoyed them, and some even made games inspired by them. Sure, there were small influences on games like Pokemon and Animal Crossing, but in the last 10 years we've got a lot of indie games that directly aim to continue Mother's legacy.
So hey, is the perfect time to take a look at a bunch of these games and see just how far Earthbound's impact goes.
One of the earliest of these was Yume Nikki, a game I've discussed in detail a while ago. In the world with people holding shields, you can locate a static maze that leads to a world very similar to the first Mother game, complete with new menus. Yume Nikki was pretty influential in and of itself, inspiring a game simply titled Lisa, where you play as the titular character in this psychological nightmare world that's a bit more clear in terms of storytelling. This game ended up getting a sequel known as Lisa the Painful, set in a post-apocalyptic world where women and the Z-axis don't exist, and you have to reunite with the only girl left. Be warned, these games aren't for the faint of heart.
Those games were pretty heavy, so how about a Mother-like game with a more lighthearted tone?
Here we have Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. Oh boy. Alright, so already this takes some influence from specifically Mother 3, with the logo being comprised of 2 materials that don't mesh together, so this should be fun. This is Jimmy. He lives with his family in this big dream world and uses the power of empathy to take on different forms and use unique abilities, in both the overworld and in battle. The game has a really good sense of humor. Pretty much every character subverts expectations in some way. One of my favorite characters in this game is the information guy, who always has something to... Oh, never mind.
I suppose that wasn't as dark. Let's try another one.
Would you look at that, the polar opposite of dark. This is Omori, a kid that lives in this big dream world just like Jimmy. It's full of friends to play games with and go along on adventures, and little monsters to fight with a really fun battle system. One of the big parts of the battles is the emotion system. It's a pretty simple element-based rock, paper, scissors type mechanic, but since they're emotions, they can change, which leads to a lot of unique strategies. This place is absolutely enormous. There are so many locations to explore, filled with nooks and crannies, and...
Well, I can't say I wasn't expecting this.
A lot of people remember the Mother series for its more heavy and intense moments, but these games also manage to capture the simple yet strange and fun nature of that world. At this point, there's a nearly endless amount of Mother-inspired games, so anybody who wants to relive those memories and experiences has a ton of options to choose from.
So hey, looks like it's going to be a busy summer. Oh boy.